Are you ready? Call your mama, call your papa, call your friends. The festivities are about to begin. Boom! So there you go. Okay. Now YouTube land can hear me, and you should be able to hear me a lot better if I click this. And let's see, 3, 2, 1. Check 1, 2. Now this is a slightly better.
There we go.
Oh, fuck's sake. I was trying to explain to YouTube, and I was telling you guys over here on Discord. So I'm sorry, people on YouTube land. I'm sorry I had some technical difficulties in the beginning, some update issues. Hopefully, we can be heard now, and we are back on business. Now, it sounds windy for you, right?
Yes.
Woo! Dude, I was sweating bullets. I said, like, man, don't tell me that the laptop is just not gonna want to work now. Like it's showtime, damn it.
Hello, everybody, including my favorite YouTube personality, Farmer's Boy.
Well, look at that.
Am I a YouTube personality now? Oh, cool.
I haven't even opened the interwebs yet. I'm popping it up in now and fully. Woo wee. Okay, I see. Chatbox is on. Watch page is on. Fred Bailey, RT96, Farmer's Boy, Turing 12, JM Clark, Martin, Marcus Dresden, Kuso, Extra J, John Mungus, Justin Franks, Charlie Welsh, Larry Scott, Mr. Victory's Radio, My Mom Bakes Cakes, and I think that's everybody that's here. Please boom like if you're watching this live or recorded and you enjoy beginning a show with a shitty intro and technical difficulties and silence. Hit the thumbs up now. If you're watching this recorded or any of the videos, it should be a thanks button, a super thanks So you can support there. It's like a super chat offline. And check on the links on the description box. There's a PayPal link. There's a link to join Discord. Everybody should join the Discord server Daily Boom. That is where we are now. And there's a link for PayPal here in the chat box live. And super chat. Anybody got any question, comment, concerns, responsible trolling comments? Hit me up. I thought I had the camera on, but I don't. It's better because I'm still moving stuff around, so confused, trying to get everything under control. So it's all good. And we are joined by Bro Stremesis, Farmer's Boy, Larry Bro PS, Snesley Wipes, and the other Merle. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. Woo!
You made it. Yay.
I made it. There you go. There we are.
I did make it.
Sweating bullets in here.
How is Frogland?
Frogland is good. Let's see. I mean, it looks good. Frogs are watching the show. This one is watching both. This one is watching this laptop right here, and it's also watching that right there. So it's good. Let's see how it sounds then. Well, I think Squeaky Earth is fantastic today. It sounds very strong, right?
Yep.
Love it. Yeah, baby frog. I hear you. Shout out to all the Globies, the Globe Earthies, Globis Earthies, Mini Globe Earth, Medium Globe Earth, Kind of Globe Earth, and Squeaky Earth. Everybody over here in the house.
I have a question.
Good.
If the Earth is level with bumps, then is it really level?
Yes, it's level with bumps.
How could it be level if it has bumps? Because level is level.
Can a piece of wood, 2x4, can be smooth all the way through, and you don't feel any bumps? You go closer with a microscope. There's all kinds of bumps and fucking shit. When you're just looking at a big piece of something and a big picture, you're not gonna feel that extra bumps. Like the Earth. If Earth, put yourself in the third person point of view, and Earth is small, you won't feel anything. It's like a smooth thing. Keep getting closer and closer, microscopic, you're gonna have all kinds of bumps and crevices.
But a mountain is not a small bump. It's a humongous bump.
Compared to the size of Earth, yeah. If you compare it with the size of Earth, it's very strong.
You could even call a mountain a humongous bump.
A pore of our skin is something that if you look at it with a microscope, it's like a gigantic crater with all kinds of shit in it. But look at it from far, it looks like almost nothing. You don't even feel sometimes, Yes. So that's it. That's a good analogy, right? When you are really close to something big, it looks kind of exaggerated. I'm gonna start muting myself, but I need to turn this fan on. It's like a fucking 100 degrees in Florida today. It's 85. Feels like fucking 100.
It's 84 degrees where I live, so I'm feeling you, Jose. 84 plus 15% humidity.
Yeah. And over here in this corner, there's no wind today, so it's no wind factor here. And this is a metal, I don't know how you call this material, zinc or metal thing. I mean, in this corner, like, there's no wind coming through. It's like so hot in here, like a fucking oven. I was talking about scale.
Careful.
RT96 might get offended. I mean, by RT96, I mean flat earthers. Did I just call RT96 a flat earth representative? Yeah, it's 89, where Sean's fucking horrible. Plus 1,000 billion of humidity. And that's what I feel today.
1,000 billion humidity?
Yeah, 1,000 billion of humidity. 2 days ago, it was a heavy rain, like 2 or 3 days ago. And we still get that evaporation of the water, the drains are saturated. It's just humid, everything with the heat. Oh, I can see like across the street, and I see the wave of fucking heat telling me, I'm coming to you. I'm on to
It's 57 here.
50s, but Fahrenheit.
Yeah, well, I had to change the settings on my phone because obviously I don't have it set to Fahrenheit.
What
Yes,
is
it's
that
50
on Celsius?
Hang on, it's 57, which is 14 degrees Celsius. It's very comfortable. Very nice.
It's like 65 degrees Celsius here.
That's about 150 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, never mind then. Quit trying to correct me, okay?
I thought 50 degrees was the middle point where Celsius and Fahrenheit would be the same. It's not it, huh? There's no middle point. There's no Fahrenheit and Celsius. There's no
50
one number that
degrees.
it would join.
50 degrees Celsius is about 100, and actually, I think I would, but at 50 degrees Celsius is about 130 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's 122.
Well, there you go. Pretty close.
But that's what it is in India at the minute, apparently. 122.
That is hot.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
too hot.
horrible, man.
It's crazy. Like where I live at, one day there could be 110 and the next day it's 115. And you can definitely tell the difference in the temperature between 110 and 115. It's only 5 degrees.
Yeah, it's really bad. I don't know. Just find it horrible. People who, I mean, like me, Floridians. Yeah. Uh-oh. Sorry. I was hearing the WASP page. I go like, what the fuck am I hearing? I thought I heard you talking, but then I was talking to myself. I was like, "Pakak, thank you." Like, shut up. Whatever.
You was doing the gin.
Yeah, I was doing it, Gene. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. I was like, I kind of heard the same thing. I said, they're repeating themselves. I was opening a tab in here because Thurston sent me $10. I don't know if it was last night or earlier today, but he sent me $30. He said, here, Jose, in place of super thanks, I didn't do as I didn't. Oh, I gotta try to process. Here, Jose, in place of super thanks, I didn't do as I don't like not using PayPal. In place of super thanks, I didn't do. Instead of the super thanks, I didn't do as I don't like not using PayPal. Something like that. So he prefers PayPal, and I do too. Thank you very much, Thurston, for the $10, bro. Appreciate it.
Yes, you get more of it through PayPal, don't you?
Yes.
Super chats, you lose quite a tidy wedge.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know how to read that and process it in my brain in real time. I'm a little bit hungry now, so it's going to be a fun one.
Yes, I couldn't quite get over yesterday's boom. That was.
Tell us what resonated to you, man. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, obviously Lemon Bird. I just can't listen to the guy. But no, it was Gary's insistence that when you're doing things to scale, you have to scale the camera. I mean, hats off to him for coming up with something new. But oh, sweet Jesus! I mean, that's just so wrong. I don't know where to start.
Well, there's a Extra J. He's got a great point because he cannot be watching me right now unless he shrinks his head and probably himself to the screen because we gotta look at each other in the eye. I'm a very tiny person on the screen, so you guys, in order to see me the way I look, you gotta shrink yourself to a certain something like that. Around
Yeah,
that neighborhood.
it is bloody ludicrous. No, I've never heard the like.
Shout out to Snoop Dogg. I don't know why I say that. Shout out to Snoop Dogg. What the heck?
Yeah, that's kind of why I never used to play with Matchbox cars when I was a kid, because I couldn't shrink myself down to size.
Quite.
There you go. See, makes sense.
Yeah.
Gary Wevenga says, Extra J, if Bearded Devil scaled his model correctly, it wouldn't have looked just like Randy's Blackpool Power. Oops, something wasn't scaled down. Maybe the camera wasn't scaled down, Gary, from your, train of thought. What do you think? That's very strange. I still can't tell if that they've been serious. Gary's been serious or not. In order to do a scale model and take a picture or video of a scale model, you need a tiny camera, man. Like a small, not tiny as for pixels or receptor or lens. It's just got to be a tiny, like miniature camera.
You know why Bearded Devils wasn't scaled correctly? Because the picture didn't look the same as the Blackpool Tower picture. It should have looked exactly the same if he scaled it according to the original. He didn't. The one thing he forgot was the camera.
Was it similar? Was it very close to similar?
No. In his picture, Blackpool Tower was well under the mountains. He didn't scale the camera.
I tell you why. Because he did it on a long, flat sidewalk.
What's flat? Level in your world is curved. So that little distance, if he scaled it, should have enough curve in that concrete.
He was working for you, man. He was working for you. It didn't add up. I guess something is not right. I think the length. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish my thought. Let's not go crazy and interrupt. I think something went wrong. He was working for you. He said, well, they say the earth is flat. I'm going to find a long, flat, straight of sidewalk, and I'm going to do these scale things. Let me zoom in, take pictures. Oh, shit. It doesn't add up. It looks very different to the picture. So I guess that the earth is not flat then, Gary, right?
No, because according to you and your model, that concrete would be level according to the center of gravity, right? So only each point would be.
You think we're going to have curvature to that level? You think we're going to have curvature in that level in a 100, 200, 500 feet? You think in a 500 feet we're going to have a curvature of the earth?
In your model, it would have to.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for giving us.
Level in your model is curved.
Thank you for letting us
scale it properly. Because if he did, it wouldn't match. Or it would have matched.
Thank you for welcoming us into your mind and the way you think. I appreciate it a lot. We do appreciate it. The boom. Thank you for welcoming us into the way you think.
Truth. I know the truth hurts a little bit, but he did not scale it correctly. I am correct. His camera was way too big for the model, and if he had scaled that camera correctly, he would have had a picture that looked similar to Ranty's Blackpool Tower picture. He would have had the tower over the top of the mountains, but he didn't, and I told you so. But you can believe whatever you want to believe. It's your show and your mind.
We got a super chat by Anamorphic Mind, $2 per Gary. You have to lie to Flurf. Thank you very much, Anamorphic Mind. So this is what's going on. In a 100 foot in my house, I guess, if I build a basketball court, a little sidewalk, 100 foot, no matter if it's 10 feet, 20 feet, 100 feet, maybe, I don't know, 600 feet, I cannot build that straight structure. I cannot build a straight sidewalk because Gary is equating the levelness of the earth, that the earth is a sphere. He adding that to a small structure like a piece, like a pore size of sidewalk, tiny in a skin. He think that has to be curved following the earth, a small sidewalk of a few hundred feet. Thank you, Gary, very much.
Your model, awesome. A 300-foot-long concrete sidewalk would not be flat and level like we see it, because you believe that's always curved. Level in your model is curved.
How much curve?
We would need to scale the curve
it only
as well.
needs enough scale for that.
We would need to scale the curve as well, Gary.
You guys totally fucked up. Let's just admit it.
No, you're just talking shit.
Might I add, in 500 feet, like we were talking about that level piece of wood, in 500 feet, Gary, that's 13 10,000ths of 1 degree of curvature. Do you think we would notice that?
You can't scale your curvature? You can't scale your curvature?
Oh, no, you could.
I did scale it.
It could be done. It could be done.
Little models close to the ground and small. That ground
is going to finish. We're going to let Lel finish. Gary, we're going to let Lel finish. We're going to let Lel finish without interruption. Go ahead.
You did. You asked me to scale it. I did scale it. In our model, 1 degree is 69 miles. If you took the miles and changed it into feet and divided that into 500, you get 17 10,000ths of 1 degree. You tell me if you can notice 17 10,000ths of 1 degree of curvature over 500 feet.
What Beard the Devil did, he did a scale model, but he used a flat surface. He scaled the heights, the distances, the sizes. What he didn't scale was the curvature of the Earth, because he did it on a flat surface, because he wanted to prove, whoa, Joe, easy, still talking. He wanted to prove to us, he wanted to give us that piece of flat Earth, that it will look like in reality. So I said, you know what? If the Earth is flat, I'm going to use the flattest piece of thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to scale everything down, and it should look like in the big scale that we see in reality. I'm not adding any curve because the Earth is flat, right? He didn't add any curve. What was the result? He didn't add much to reality, Gotti. What the fuck, man?
In your model, the concrete's curved. There's no such thing as flat and level like the flat earthers define it, like actually flat and level. In your model, that sidewalk is curved in your model.
All right, I got a very simple question for you, Gary. Could you take a non-level piece of wood and place it level on a wall? Gary, are you there? Why are you running from the question?
I wasn't running. I'm at work. I had to put it on mute.
Yeah, but you're not answering. You answer everyone else's question.
I am at work, so screw you. My job takes precedence over answering your question.
Okay, well,
I
you
have
please
to get
answer
back
the
to work,
question.
and I'm going back. I just answered it.
Oh, you're running away. You never answered it.
Nope, not running away. I'm sorry. Some people are working at this time. You might not be, but
when I ask a simple question like that, you won't answer, but when people are chiming in and asking you different questions that are more difficult, you will answer.
He'll just straw man and run.
No, I'll tell you exactly why. I can't keep answering because then the next person answers the question, and
Okay, you're sitting here arguing. Just answer the question.
Because I'm running away. Then the next person. I have work to do. I'm at work.
You're not working right now. Talking to us. Answer the question.
You know what?
Answer the question. Can you put an uneven piece of wood on a wall level? He sat and argued with me for 10 minutes about him having to work, but he won't answer this simple question that will take like 1 second. It's a yes/no question.
All right. Let me read a few comments I got here by memberships. We can look at that. We got all kinds of free super chats over here. Responsible troll, a very smart responsible troll, which is RT96. Shout out to the flip flop RT. Honey, I only look small because you have to correctly scale your eyes. Gotti, 2022. Thank you, RT96. I'm Mr. Malord, another smart responsible troll. Shout out to Flip Floppy, Mr. Malord. The curve would increase for scale, not decrease. Thank you, Malord. Appreciate that. We started the show hot today, man. Good times.
I think the sidewalk is more in keeping with the curvature of a flat surface, or is more representative of a flat surface than the curvature of that distance for the scaled model.
So what's Gary's claim today? I kind of missed the beginning of it.
That Beard the Devil did something wrong in the Blackpool Tower scale model because it doesn't match reality. It doesn't match Randy's observation. And I'm saying because Beard the Devil didn't add any curvature. He did it in a flat, long, straight set of sidewalk. And Gotti say that no, it has to add to reality because there's curvature of the earth in that sidewalk. That's what Gotti say. Go ahead.
It's funny that Gary would mention that because every time he makes a video, when he drops his camera down to the ground, he claims that what he's looking at is perfectly flat. I don't know if no, I don't want to put words in his mouth. I don't know if that's actually what his claims are, but that's kind of what I get from it.
Yeah, he said in your
Like I'm
model.
gonna
Yeah, he said in your model, Freewell, there's curvature in that, no matter how big or small. In 100 foot, there's curvature because the model dictates that there's curvature. So that's his point right there, people.
right. So I'm
And
gonna
he
post a
better-
picture.
And B-Ball, he
No,
better
go ahead,
not
man.
respond unless he's responding to the question I asked. Because that's the most important question to delineate between level and flat.
Yeah, I'll be sharing
So
the screen now.
I posted a picture from a screenshot from one of his videos. I'm not sure now if you're listening, Gary. I don't know if you claimed that this was perfectly flat, but I don't know. I think you were trying to show that you couldn't see the rest of the railroad tie was obstructed by the flatness. I don't know. But if you're claiming that when Bearded Devil did his, he did it on a perfectly flat surface, and it's not perfectly flat. I mean, that's what we've been telling you the whole time, that there's no surface on Earth that's perfectly flat.
Define perfectly flat, B-Ball.
Like no part higher or lower than any other part.
So level.
No, I wouldn't say level, because level follows. I don't know. Flat as in no part higher than the other. That's how I would say.
Sorry,
absolutely no elevation changes at all. No elevation changes. A horizontal plane.
Well, flat really implies a plane. It doesn't imply that it's horizontal, particularly.
Okay, well, okay. So what would flat mean then? Flat, as in no elevation changes, right?
Well, a line is all those points along a line which form a line, and a plane is that in 2 dimensions, and that's what flat is.
A flat is a surface where all the points in that surface are coplanar.
And what is coplanar?
All in the same plane.
In that context, what's the word plane mean?
Come on now.
See, you're kind of using circular. I hate circular definitions. I'm not saying it's your fault, but it's kind of circular, right?
A plane is
3 points define a plane. Any point that is contained on that plane are coplanar. Any 3 points, and if you have an array of 12 or 15 points, they're all in the same plane. They're all coplanar. Pure and simple.
But you're using the word and adding another part to the same word, and then defining the original word. That's kind of circular definition, isn't it?
No, are you having a trouble with English language?
I'm having a problem with the word plane when you put the word coplanar as part of the definition. Planar
Well, plane is one. No, plane is one definition, and points on that plane are coplanar. Much like if you live in the United States, you are a U.S. citizen. It's the same thing. It is coplanar. It is part of the plane. The plane comes first. Points on it are part of that set. Therefore, they are coplanar.
Correct.
Plane is a 2-dimensional surface that is defined by any 3 points, period. Any other point that lies on that surface is coplanar with the first 3 points, and every other point that lies on that surface.
Yeah, a plane is defined by a minimum of 3 points, but you can have a maximum of infinity points in that same plane.
If you only have 3, you know you've defined a very specific plane, and from that you can determine whether any other point is on that plane or not.
Is this a true statement? If I have 3 points and they're all connected, and if I move one of those points in any direction, those 3 points will always be coplanar.
Yes, if those 3 points define your plane, they will all be coplanar, always, regardless of their location.
Right. Now, if you add one more and move that point, then if you add one more and move that point in any direction, it won't be coplanar.
If you move it so that along an axis which is not in line with the others, then it will not be coplanar. Right. But if you can move it in or out, say, in such a way that it's still in the plane.
Right. Okay.
For everybody listening right now, there are 50 plus people watching the stream. Go ahead either in the mobile phone that you're watching or in the laptop or PC, scroll down a little bit under the video. There's going to be an icon of a thumbs up and then one of the thumbs down next to it. Make sure that you locate the thumbs up, the like button under this video, which says 27 right now, and make sure that that one is highlighted darker than the other. So make sure that you already hit the thumbs up. If you haven't done so, go ahead and click it in 3, 2, 1, boom, like now. Thank you very much. Now, after that, locate the super chat underneath the chat box or the PayPal link above the chat box and give me money. Here we go. The floor is yours, gentlemen.
Give me money. Oh, dear.
All right, there's a few more images over here. What are we showing related to the topic? Vivo, there's an image over here that you shared a while and you were breaking up a little bit. Tell us about the image. It's up on screen, man.
I don't know what you're looking at. I'm sorry. I gotta, hold on one second.
It's like
the photo you put up.
Oh, it's is it my shoes?
No. It's 31 minutes after the hour. It's like a long plank or piece of wood or like a perspective thing.
A rail?
A rail.
Oh, that's from no. Because I came in, you guys were talking about Bearded Devil's mission with Blackpool Tower, and I guess Gary was yeah. Well, yeah, I'm getting to that point, but I think Gary was talking about how it wasn't done on a perfectly flat surface. Is that what his argument was?
No, his argument is that you did it on a curved surface because the Earth is curved.
I said in your model, that concrete cannot be flat the same way a flat earther would define it. It would have to be each point is equidistant from the center of mass, right? Or the center of the equipotential or whatever you call it. So that concrete would have to have its own natural curve in your model, which means if he scaled his other stuff correctly, the picture would have looked identical to the Blackpool Tower picture that Ranty had on his channel. And it doesn't, because he didn't scale the camera.
No,
so
I don't think he was trying. Hold on.
It was flat.
He wasn't trying.
Your model. What is flat?
He was trying to show that it doesn't match on a flat surface. That was the point.
Yes.
No, your surface. According to you, that surface built-in curvature into your sidewalk in your model, because each point is not a flat like a flat earther defines it. It's flat as in curved, like you guys define it. So if we take that definition that you guys claim, that everything is not that flat is curved, and you already have the natural curve in that sidewalk, and so if he applied all the other scaling properly to everything, like the camera, Blackpool Tower, and the mountains and the distances in between each, that picture should have looked just like Ranty's Blackpool Tower picture. It doesn't.
Gary, do you think that was the point of it? Was he trying to get it to match? Was that the point?
Yes, he was trying to, but he failed because he didn't scale the camera. If he had a little tiny camera,
that wasn't the point.
taking the picture from the proper distance above the surface, you would have had the angles.
Gary has
to
to
the
be
top of the
close-minded.
tower and the top of the mountain would have.
Think this long time. Gary must be
All right, let me
either
ask you a
close-minded or super dumb not to understand what Bearder was attempting to.
See,
So you agree that so Gary, you agree that concrete wasn't perfectly flat, right?
It doesn't matter. I'm telling you what your model. If you scaled everything properly, you would have had an identical picture. It would have just looked. You would have seen his little tower would have been above the mountains in the background if he scaled everything properly. But he didn't. He didn't scale the camera. That's why he had a wider angle. He had a bigger angle over the top, which is why the mountains. His camera basically is at a higher elevation by not matching it properly.
So you agree that the concrete was not perfectly flat, right? Did you just say that?
Nothing is perfectly flat.
Okay, great. Now we'll go to your picture. Now we'll go to your picture that I posted earlier.
B-ball.
Hold on, Leo.
Wait a minute. Leo asked the question earlier. Let me answer Leo's question.
I'll let him go after this.
We'll let Gary. Wait. We'll let Leo go after Beeble. Beeble is in the middle of something. We will let Leo go after Beeble. I think Gary was saying I'll be back in 5 minutes. So I don't know if he's gonna be able to answer you. But whilst I was saying this, he was trying to talk over me, so I muted him for a minute. He's unmuted again. Go ahead.
I don't want this point to get lost real quick. So since you claim that the concrete in Bearded Devil's observation wasn't perfectly flat, do you agree that the railroad track in your image is that perfectly flat, or is it not perfectly flat?
I said I'll be back in 5 minutes. I got paperwork. I'll answer your question then.
Well, when we're talking about flat, we're talking about a general layout. I mean, are there atoms that make up the flat thing that have hills and valleys and bumps up and down? Theoretically, sure. But the general layout is flat from one end to the other.
All right, I'm gonna have the image up in standby for when Gary comes back. Jesse Gordon, you are sharing your screen. You want to share that for YouTube? I can do that.
May I?
Yeah. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. You there, Lemon?
Yes.
Are you seeing my shared screen yet?
Same thing you showed me the other time.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, it's a beautiful flat thing.
Okay, so how would I do a scale model of this? Is this the same problem as the Black Ball Tower? In other words, would my scale model also show the building being higher than the water level in the red water level?
Some things scale, some things don't, but it's a similar problem. You're basically saying that something has a size ratio from the object in the foreground to the object of the background of, like, the object in the background being 4 times as tall, and you basically assume that up to 4 times the distance, it should appear taller than the thing in the foreground. That doesn't always occur. It just depends on how close you are to the ground, and these ratios may or may not be like that. They may or may not be broken by how close you are to the surface.
The surface of the top of that hill that drops off right in front of my feet?
The ground.
So what would it take for me to do an accurate scale model of this scenario?
I don't know. I'm just a flatty. I'm just a layman who's trying to figure this stuff out. But since light rays spread from the point source, this idea that you have this level line or whatever that things should or shouldn't appear above or below on a round Earth versus a flat Earth is just off. It's like you guys are invoking this, perfect straight line level, like a line that you draw on paper, but that, ignores the fact that light rays spread. And so you can potentially have something that's level with something in the foreground, in the background, that appears higher or lower than something in the foreground, since, light rays spread and go out like a V or a triangle. So this perspective stuff can get really complicated.
Do I understand correctly that you're saying that basically there's nothing we can actually observe to know reality, but whatever we see must work somehow on a flat Earth because the Earth is flat, even though there's no way for us to know that. Is that what you're saying?
You are correct that you're going to need to check level with the laser, but you can't sight level. Just because it looks like something is lower than something in the background or in the foreground doesn't mean that it is or isn't level. You're going to need to check it with the laser, just in case you're sighting things in an off way, or your visual sighting of things is not quite as level as it would normally be. Take a ruler. I think I talked with you about this in our exchange a while ago. If you take a ruler and level it with the flat horizon left to right, it looks, perfectly flat and level with the horizon until you rotate the ruler. The moment you rotate the ruler, it will appear to ramp up or down from the point where you rotate the ruler, even though it's still level with the horizon in the background. So it looks like perspective right there can make something that's level in the foreground appear higher or lower than something that's in the background visually. And so these deceptive visual cues are not enough to determine level. You're going to need to check it with a laser. Otherwise, you could be sighting something that's a little off, like in your example there.
Well, that's the beauty of the red water in the tube, because red water has a special characteristic of not rotating like you claim your ruler does. And I know we discussed this picture last time. You had some strange idea that the light from the little red laser on the top of the building could somehow be blocked by a playing card that was in the B position by the red water tube, and then even though it wasn't passing through it, I'm not sure. But what I'm asking you is, if I were to set up, say, a 100th scale model of this, a 100 to 1 scale model of this, and it didn't look the same, what will be your complaint? Are you going to say my camera needs to be scaled down to 100th the size?
Well, your laser that you're talking about could be the same size as the card in the foreground. But since the laser in the background is further away, it will appear to dip below the card in the foreground due to perspective. It's just like holding a penny in front of a car, even a penny in front of another penny. The penny in the foreground will appear to tower above the penny in the background due to perspective alone. So I just don't see the issue here. Even with your level line, you're going to have a level line that will appear below something that is level within the foreground by similar rules of perspective, since light rays diverge and spread out from the point source.
So are you saying the little guy...
Your laser could be blocked by something in the foreground that it's level with too.
So you're saying that even though the laser beam is taking a straight shot from the top of the tower to the observer's eye, that the laser beam can still be blocked somehow by placing a playing card below the laser beam in the position shown by the B?
It depends on how much that thing in the background is dipped toward the level of the eyes of the observer. Just like you'll appear to have a smaller penny behind a penny of the same size in the foreground, the laser could be the same size as the thing in the foreground, but it's going to appear to dip below the thing in the foreground, and it's going to take some extra height with it. Stuff that, that laser in the background was below, that's taller than the laser in the background, like the top of that building, could appear to be below the thing in the foreground due to perspective. And so as far as I can tell, it's just perspective, making things shrink, throwing off the ratios because you're too close to the surface, the ground, or whatever. I mean, you're going to need to check these assumptions with the laser. Otherwise, visually, you're going to see a lot of deceptive cues that aren't quite accurate.
When you look through the Aurolight, why don't you imagine the crosshair is the laser point? You can.
Because it's the same thing with the visual cues. You're only going to get perfect visual cues if you have the right ratios to tell you what's actually above or below something else. But you're only going to get perfect ratios, ideally, for equal room from the level of the eyes down to the surface, equaling for the distance from the level of the eye upward. You're basically going to need equal room in both directions. And so past that point where both of these blocks of vision disappear due to angular resolution, your ratios are going to get off. So you have basically about, like, if you're 6 feet off the ground or 50 feet in this case, 50 feet of equal coverage up and down from the level of the optic. After that visual zone disappears, your ratios are off.
Let me quickly, Discord user, you want to get a mic check, and I can give you roles if you voice verify here. I don't know if you're able to speak unless I give you a speaker's role. Speakers, you want to say something? Say that you want posting roles, and you can post type stuff in the chat box. If not, you will have the speaker's role, and when you're ready, ask for the posting roles, right? Or DM me, tell me who you are. Boom.
What specifically are these ratios, Lemon?
What'd you say, Mr. Blue?
What are these ratios you're talking about? What ratio? Ratio of what to what?
1-to-1 equal up from the level of the eyes, down from the level of the eyes to the surface. So if you're 6 feet off the surface, 6 feet up from the level of the eyes, 6 feet down to the floor, basically.
So you can only see, okay, all right. Distance
So
doesn't have anything to do with it, right?
This 6-foot block would have an angular resolution just like any 6-foot object. Once this 6-foot block of space visually disappears, your ratios are going to be off. These two zones will compress equally, and now you still have the rest of the 100-foot object to deal with, the 100-foot space to deal with, and that's what's throwing off the ratios visually, because the top half is trying to pair 100 feet of information with 6 feet of information from the level of the eyes down to the surface. It's just
Hey, Lemon.
Uh-huh.
Is Gary back? Because I didn't want to take his spot. Okay, no Gary. I have a question for you.
No, I just got back in my truck.
Oh, okay, great. Do you have time for me to ask a quick question to Lemon?
I don't care what you do.
Ah, super. Thank you. So Lemon, if you had said something about the object and the distance needing to occupy equal amounts of visual space above and below eye level. Do I remember that correctly?
For the ratios to be right, yes, you need to have a 6-foot block paired symmetrically with a 6-foot block above and below the level of the eyes. Once these two blocks disappear due to angular resolution, your ratios are going to get really weird.
Okay, so see that, let's just say that building is 180 feet tall. We both know that half of 180 feet is like, I don't know, what, 90 feet or something? And so let's say I positioned my observer location in my little red water tube level 90 feet higher than it was for this observation, so that I am halfway up the building. Then there would be equal amounts of building above and below my eye level. Is that correct?
Yeah, you expect more or less equal ratio, yeah.
Okay. Would the building then appear to be at eye level like it should, or would it still appear below eye level like it does?
Everything would approach the level of the eyes of the observer. But we're still learning about this stuff as flat earthers and stuff like this too. This appears to be new principles of optics. We need to see if a flat surface rises perfectly to the level of the eyes, like we're implying in this example, or if it asymptotically rises toward the level of the eyes, where it keeps on increasing, I'm sure, but it approaches an asymptotic line that it doesn't believe it has. I would tend to go with an asymptotic rise myself, like looking over a flat table.
Can I got one comment. You were hot micing a little bit there, Gary. Let me read a comment that I got here because I have received 666 donation of $6.66 from Marble Merman. He says, Gary, stick to your day job and stop believing in a childish fantasy of flat earth, you dumbass. I can still listen on Discord and still work and still answer questions if need be. Love you all, not flat earth. Marble Merman, thank you for the 666. Jada?
Isn't he supposed to be a Christian? I thought Marble Merman was claimed to be a Christian.
Well, Leal, okay. Now, people, Earth is Life, if you are there, I am sharing the screen. I can repost this image, and we're going to try to sort this out, and then Leal have the floor. He's been waiting. People, the image, I am reposting it in the Daily Boom Uncensored.
So I was just going to ask Gary, I'm sorry, I was running. You claim that the concrete in Bearded Devil's observation wasn't perfectly flat, right?
That's not what I said at all. I said, according to your model, it can't be flat the way a flat earth is. It would have to be bent or curved, because every point is perpendicular to the center of mass. So your concrete in your model already has a built-in curve to it, according to you, right? Not me. I'm saying what your model is. So if he scaled his model correctly, it would have the proper amount of that curvature already included without having to do anything. Which means if he did everything else correctly, his picture and his scaled down model should have looked identical to the Blackpool Tower picture.
No, it shouldn't, Gary.
Yes, it should have. Blue.
No, it shouldn't, Gary.
All right,
You'd
all
have
right,
to
Gary,
scale
you're
the
gonna have to
diameter of the
eventually.
Earth too.
Yeah, you're gonna have
You
to
would have
eventually
to
stop
scale the
somebody from responding.
diameter of that. The radius of that sidewalk would have to be scaled the same as you scale the distances to the building.
No, it's already. He scaled the rest of the model, so that scale should match.
No,
whatever
it
is in
shouldn't,
that
Gary.
sidewalk. Sure, it
Anybody
should.
can see that. No, it should not.
Yes, it
The
should.
point of the video.
Everything was scaled according to him, and it
You know
wasn't.
anything about
All right,
geometry,
Gary.
Gary?
Yes, according to you, is that sidewalk perfectly flat, Blue? In your model?
I would have no idea whether the sidewalk's perfectly
No,
flat.
I mean in your model, even in your model, it can't be.
Oh, you're talking about, is it following the geoid or is it following the ellipsoid?
Is every point of that sidewalk perfectly the same elevation above your center of mass?
Think about this,
Hold on.
Gary. If you were following the ellipsoid of the Earth, it would be following a curve with a radius of about 6,400 kilometers. Now, if you want
Okay,
to,
but you would have a
if you want to scale
ratio, right?
down, divide by 1,000,000 or whatever scale Bearded Devil was using, and use that radius. You can't use the Earth's radius and scale down the distance. Jesus, anybody knows that.
You're telling me though that his sidewalk is curved according to your model.
I'm telling you,
it would have to be the proper ratios.
If there is a curvature in that sidewalk, it's nowhere near the amount of curvature on a scale basis that you would have on the Earth. That's what I'm telling you.
So you agree? So Gary, hold on.
Compared to your model,
Gary.
Now,
so you agree that the concrete isn't perfectly flat, right?
I've always said that nothing's perfectly flat.
Okay,
Just like I explained to you guys.
Great.
Wait a minute. No, not great. Brilliant.
Yeah.
We'll take your little model again. I will have to explain to you since you guys.
Let me know when you're done so I
forget
can
this
respond, please.
Time that our model has hills and valleys, and I know you hate it when we say that, but now right away you'll say otherwise we think everything's perfectly flat. So that's why we always have to make the point that yes, we know things aren't perfectly flat.
So why are you representing things that you think are perfectly flat in some of your videos?
Where did I ever say anything was perfectly flat? I did.
So if you look at the picture of the railroad tracks, you claim that when you drop your camera down. Hold on, I'm not done. You claim that when you drop your camera down, you start to see obstruction, right?
No, I didn't say I saw obstruction.
You didn't
I never
say
said
that?
either, did I? No. What you see is that you see your field of view changes, and it compresses everything in the center. That's why you can only see so far along the rail when you don't have enough angle.
You know why? Because
You don't have enough
the
angle.
railroad's not perfectly flat.
The railroad is pretty close to flat.
But it's not perfectly flat, is it?
I could go to the other end and take the picture, or I could have turned around and take the same picture facing the other direction, and I would have got the same results every single time.
I got two
general
comments.
average.
I got 2 comments I would like to read now before they go to further super chat comments. First, actually, I'm gonna read this one first. The last one that came in was Stevie B for £5 super chat. Thank you, Stevie B, for the £5. I appreciate that. He say, "Go screw up your own model. Ours works fine." Thanks, Jose. Hey, thanks, Stevie B.
I think that the point of Bearded
I got
Devil's
one more.
video was to
I got
show.
one more.
Okay, sorry.
I got one more. That was it first. That was Stevie B. But then then we got a big 5,000 Chilean pesos by Esteban in La Vaca. Thank you, Esteban in La Vaca. Appreciate that. Lemon, we can calculate, test, and verify how perspective works. The ratios you talk about are how we know the relative positions depending size, distance, and observer position. You are denying known facts. Thank you, Esteban. Appreciate it.
So I think, Gary, I think you're misunderstanding the point of Bearded Devil's video. Now, don't cut me off here. The reason why you're misunderstanding is because the point of the video was to show that on a flat surface, it wouldn't match the observation.
Well, according to your model, he wasn't on a flat surface, so it would have had to match.
Well, it's flat enough for the observation, right?
Because he didn't scale his model correctly, because he didn't scale down his camera enough.
Well, if you can believe whatever you want, but all the information of how he scaled it, all the information of how he scaled it is in his video. You can recreate that if you want to see if it looks the same.
If I did it the same way he did it, I'd get the same result, and it wouldn't look like Blackpool Tower.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't. You know why?
Do you know? Model, is he? Well, no. I know what you're going to say already. And in your model, that sidewalk is curved the same ratio, so it should work, but it didn't.
No, it didn't because that's the point.
He didn't scale the camera. He should have had a picture that looked identical to the Blackpool Tower.
Gary, Gary, if the Earth was flat, then it would have matched the observation. That's the point.
If the Earth was flat, it would have matched it if he scaled the camera. It would have matched the picture if he scaled the camera correctly. He didn't. That's why he's got a picture that looks nothing like the Blackpool Tower picture.
No, it doesn't.
He didn't scale the camera, so it skews the angle from the camera to the top of the tower and to the top of the mountains. It changes the ratio because you don't have the proper distance above the ground and the proper size of that camera. You have everything from
Gary,
okay, we got
last one. Let me 20 minutes. And I asked
fuck it, I'm just gonna
go ahead, Leo.
I'm gonna give Leo an opportunity after I read this super chat that I got here, and then Leo, we'll keep moving around the floor. But we got a super chat by my mom bakes cakes. Thank you very much. I appreciate it for the $5 Australian. Gary, these cows are small, but the ones out there are far away. Small, far away. If we can understand this, why can't you?
And what have I ever said otherwise?
Has Leo been trying to get in there?
Yes, I've been waiting for 20 minutes. Every time I ask a simple question, he has to work, but he'll sit here and argue for 20 minutes and not answer my simple question.
And
so,
Leo, if you would have been paying attention to the conversation,
running away from the
asked
question.
numerous times, if Leo could ask his question, I didn't put you off. Jose did.
Yes, you did. 20 minutes you've been arguing with B-Ball now, and you could have answered my question.
And if you would have paid attention, I asked Jose several times, can I answer Leo's question? And no, it got put off because he wanted B-Ball.
We are on it now. We are on it now. Yeah, we're on it. Leo, go ahead, man.
Okay, now because he's such an ass,
we'll press the restart button now.
I've been waiting for like a half an hour for you to answer. You keep on waiting.
I'm trying to sort you out, but he's got to keep talking over me. He's gonna be muted. If Leo keep yelling, he's not gonna be able to speak. I interrupted earlier. I postponed this right here. There's no need to get agitated, angry, excited. Now it's a fresh start. B-Ball was first, and he was able to finish. Nobody's able to finish their points. So don't you think I'm going to go on until I finish my point because nobody finishes points? But now is the time for Leo to ask his question. I don't need anybody interrupting saying I'm going to answer or not going to answer questions. We're going to hear Leo's question, and then it's up to the next person to answer or not answer or give whatever excuse they want. Leo, the floor is.
I'm going to predict that he's got to work, but Gary, can you place an uneven piece of wood, non-level, on a wall?
I will answer your question when you.
It's a yes/no question. Answer it.
Admit when I came on here, I right away I said I'm here to answer Leo's before the others, and Jose put it off and said that B-Ball could go first. I said it several times. Now, if you don't want to acknowledge that, and you don't want to admit that's what happened, I didn't put you off, Jose.
You're running away. Answer the question, yes or no.
No, not until you apologize, then I won't. So until you apologize,
I don't have to
admit I
apologize. You purposely ran away, and now you're dodging it again.
I was working
by
at the
trying to
time,
argue the point.
and I know I have a job where I can't hold my phone out. There's lots of noise that goes around me, and everybody complains if I'm not muted. And I can't keep putting my phone in and out of my pocket to unmute you.
Okay, quit arguing about what you can do or not.
I'm not answering your question until you apologize. And
I will
admit that I
will then.
answer your question.
You want me to go on camera and go on my knees and tell you I'm sorry, Gary? I really apologize. I really want you to talk to me. But that's okay. I'm saying that, Leo, is that too hard to play the game?
No,
if you want the Leo, if you want the question, Leo, if you want to talk to him, you want the question answered. I know it's unfair. I know you don't have to, but then you're gonna hog the floor when Gary don't want to talk to you. The only way he will answer your question and talk to you is if you apologize, even if you don't owe him anything. He don't owe you anything. If you want to play the game, you apologize and then talk to him. If not, we gotta move on because he don't want to talk to you. Go ahead.
I don't really have to apologize because I just asked the simple question. Can you put an uneven piece of wood on the wall level? And
he's not going to answer your question. You got to keep asking the same question. He's not going to answer it until you apologize, Leo.
I don't have to apologize. I didn't.
Well, we got to move on. Thank you very much. Everybody watching, we got 51 people watching, 42 likes. So if you guys 51 here, that means there's a few people that haven't hit the thumbs up. Make sure to click like now. There's a super chat feature that you can ask questions, comments, or concerns. You can support via PayPal. Check on the links on the description box. There's a link on how to join Discord. Big thank you to everybody over here in the YouTube land that have supported the channel by being here, talking in the chat box, and hanging out on the Discord, which we are joined by Jesse Gordon, Blue Marble Science, Bro Alem, Chaik, Discord user, Earth is Live, Extra J, Farmer's Boy, Gary Y. Benga, J-Mac, Larry Bro PS, Mojok Man, Fittices, Sean Bro Smith, Snesley Wipes, and the other Merle. That's the way we are in the YouTube having fun, entertaining, and sometimes in order to have entertainment, you gotta bend your knees and do things that you are not proud of and you don't deserve to do, and you don't have to. But if you want to play the game, you gotta do what you gotta do. Go ahead, guys. The floor is all yours.
Hey, Gary, are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, are you able to see the screen, or are you on audio only?
I'm driving.
Okay.
I just have earbuds in my ear and I'm driving. My phone's not in front of me.
Okay, well, I've done an observation. I think you've probably seen the picture. I've set up a clear rubber tube full of red water and sighted across it to a building that was like 20 miles away, and it was the building's.
He's roboting to me. I don't know if it's me or me.
What's that? Am I roboting?
He's got to be you.
It
could be me.
You sound fine.
Yeah, it must be you. You're roboting a little bit earlier, Gary, so I guess it's you roboting. You listen.
It's probably me.
All right. So if you miss something, just say what, and I'll repeat it. Anyway, I sighted. Okay, good. I sighted to a 187-foot tall building that was 20 miles away, using a red water tube level to know what true eye level and what flattened level was. And the entire building appeared below eye level, even though it was like 180 feet above my eyes. So I need your help to know how I should go about creating a scale model of this, and so that I don't fall for whatever the black ball thing fell for. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd have to look at your picture first, but what I can tell you is if you just take a camera, a nice zoom camera, level it out, point it towards that way, level it out, zoom in and out, and tell me where that happens to that building. Does it go below your eye level, and does it go below center frame in there? No, it won't.
But it did.
No, if you took a zoom camera, leveled it out, pointing that direction, zoomed in, zoomed out, that building would not drop to the bottom half of your field of view.
But I'm telling you, it did. It's on my YouTube channel.
I'm telling you, it won't. You zoom in and out, you'll see everything go into that center frame when you back off the zoom. It's not going below it. It's just going into that center frame.
But it did go below center frame. It's on
Okay, I'm
video.
sorry, but no. Well, you link the
Basically,
video.
if I may describe the photo since you're driving, he set up a water level in the foreground of red liquid, two graduated cylinders, it looks like, of red liquid, and he assumes that that's providing a water level from one cylinder to the next one. And the building in the background that's taller than these two red water levels at elevation appears to be below these red water levels, and he's saying that it's basically like showing a globe earth. But I guess my counter question would be how the level line is spreading as a light ray going from that red water level to the distance. If light rays spread, then the level of that water line, that red water line, could be like a spreading light ray that could cover up a bunch of stuff that's above or below the light ray itself, spreading from that water level outward. So stuff in the foreground could be level or below stuff in the background, but appear to be off ratio wise because of how light rays spread. That makes sense to me as far as I can tell as a humble conspiratard belligitard flatty, but I'd have to look into this further.
Light rays
I know.
don't spread.
Can I answer it? I think
Certainly not. Yes,
on the bottom level
Gary.
and
Yes, Gary is able to answer his last question, which Lemon kind of hijacked there.
It's a water tube with two sides, right?
It's one water tube, but it's in a big U shape.
Right. Okay. Can you show that you actually leveled your camera perfectly with those two lines? Because it's almost impossible to do.
Yes,
you can be slightly below or slightly above it, and nobody would know the difference, and it would totally change how it looked in relation to the background.
Yeah, you line up the center of the camera with the first tube, the top of the tube, and then you line it up with the second tube. You adjust it up and down until it's lined up exactly center of this.
Gary,
you cannot tell if those two things, and you can move that camera slightly up or slightly down, and you wouldn't know the difference if those two were still level or not.
Oh yes, you will. You have done that.
Hey guys,
because the farther one, because the farther one would drop down.
No. You can be slightly below it or slightly above it. It's going to change the background in relation to it.
Okay, we go back to Jesse. Jesse wanted to answer that question, and we hijacked. Go ahead, Jesse.
Oh, thanks. So, Gary, I actually, on video, it's on my YouTube, I actually raised the camera up and down, and I raised it up far enough that you could see that the two heights were different in the red water, and then I lowered it down to where you could see that the heights were different in the two red waters the other way. So I swept the camera over the whole range from one limit to the other, where you could see that the camera was above and below the red water level, and the top of the building remained below the entire time. It's on video. You can see it. So if you'll leave me a comment on one of Jose's videos, I will, like the latest one or something, I'll get you a link. But my real question is, how would I scale this down and do a successful scale model test of it?
Boom.
You'd have to get a really, really, really small camera.
Well, what if I took my scale picture with a really, really big camera, so that then using a really, really small camera wouldn't be that hard? You see what I'm saying, Gary? Do you know?
Oh, that wasn't Gary. That was B-Ball.
That was
taking the test.
Sorry.
Yeah, Gary contemplating his life in the background while he thinks about the problem that you've said that you put the camera above and below, and then towards the center, and it never changed anything.
I'm surprised he hadn't heard that before. I did it like a couple years ago.
No, because that's it. It's a strategy to continue the argument and not addressing the points. Because if you hadn't done that, then that will be the end of the argument. But you actually have done that and have it on video. So that's kind of you got to rethink what's going to happen next.
I don't have to. Tommy did the same shit, and you cannot. He had some pictures where it looked like it was slightly below, and some pictures where it looked like it was even, and some pictures where it was slightly above. And he kept saying it was the same, but it was like you couldn't tell by the two lines on the two tubes whether they were not lined up or lined up still, because you can't see the surface of those the piece of water in there. You can't see the top to see if you're perfectly level with the top. It just
In
looks
this
like a
case, it was
line.
tested by
Okay,
the-
rather than address.
You don't have to do that because he went and unbalanced them. He went and unbalanced the tube. Oh, sorry, he moved his camera up and down to where it changed the orientation of the tubes above and below, and it never moved the building above or above the line.
If your camera is slightly below, you wouldn't know the difference, and it would make that line look higher than the background.
telling you it didn't.
Looking out in the distance.
Gary,
Yes,
I'm
you
telling
couldn't
you-
tell if you did or didn't. I guarantee it. You can't. You try doing it. You can do it.
Watch the video then.
You can't even do it if you just have a bottle of water, because you can't see the entire flat surface of the water to tell if you're perfectly even with the top, and it looks like a line.
Barry, he already did this. He tested it above until you could see the misalignment of the water's surface. And then he went down below till you could see the misalignment of the water's surface.
Hey,
And in
tell him
both
to make his
conditions,
thing, I will give him a comment on his thing. I guarantee you he's wrong.
Hey, Gary, I wasn't quite finished. I was almost there. In both conditions, the building was below the line.
I guarantee it wasn't. He misaligned his two tubes.
Look at it. Let's see. He's got the video.
I will have him link it on my last video comment section, and I will look.
What's your? I
Just
don't know.
post it in a- Just post a link in the
Well-
Daily Boom uncensored.
Well, he can link it in mine. Otherwise, I'm not going to go scrolling through all your stuff. I can find it much easier if he just puts the link on mine. It won't kill you guys to have him put a link on my comment section. It's very easy.
What's your? I don't know where your comment section is, Gary.
Just my name. It's just my name. Go to my YouTube channel. The last video I put up, just put a comment on there. It'll show up.
Now
You
when
can't
he
find DMs?
Now when he blocks you and then says you never posted it, you'll know that he's just a
I only block people who come in there just calling me names like you're an asshole, fuck you, and stuff like that. Then I will block them. Yes. If you don't come in being constructive and actually trying to add to the conversation, why should I put up with you and let you shit in my channel?
But I thought you were best. I thought you were best friend with Sean Hawkins.
No, I don't like Sean Hawkins at all. I don't think you do either, Jose. Do you, Jose, like Sean Hawkins? You're pretty rough on him.
I don't even like. I don't even have to like him or dislike him. Everybody is welcome to come in and talk, unless they break the rules. I mean, he hasn't break the rules. He rage quit one time. He did a video, hit on me, calling me, fuck off, and he emasculated him and shit like that. He's still welcome to. It's up to him, not me. It's funny shit.
All right, I'm going to ask you. Did you post the video in chat?
In Gotti, there's a room under the Daily Boom Uncensored.
No, I'm not going to go looking for it there. Post it on my channel, not in Jose's. Go to my YouTube channel, post a comment in the comment on my last video.
Can I sort this out? Can I sort this out, Gotti?
Video. It has nothing to do with flat Earth.
Gotti, can I sort this out? Can I sort this out? There's in the Daily Boom Discord server, we are in the Daily Boom Uncensored chat box. Under this chat box, there's a channel called Gotti. Go on that channel, and there's a lot of Gotti videos posted there. Click on one of those videos, and it will open Gotti's YouTube channel. That's simple. And then inside there, you can communicate with. There you go.
Okay, the guy who did the water level, is his video in there?
Jesse is here. From Jesse's here.
Hey, I will be listening, but I gotta go. I gotta take a car into the shop to have them look underneath it. My stepdaughter encountered a big accident today, and something hit underneath there and did some damage. So
Hey, Gary, is it the dog versus the coyote?
yeah, see, it's a perfectly innocent video, so you don't have to worry about.
Okay, I put it there.
Flat Earth or anything.
I just gave you a link there.
I don't know. I just a reminder. I don't know if that link is going to show up to Gotti. It will show up to you because you posted it, but I don't know if it's going to show up for Gary because you are not a moderator in his channel. I don't know if links are going to show up, but you can type any comment, and in the comment section that you type, Gotti can click on your name, and it will open your channel. So maybe you can type, "Hey, Gotti, the video title is this." and then he can click on your name and look for your video title. If you post a link, it might not even show up in Gary because you are not a moderator on his channel. Just saying, it might go through, it might not.
Can you make me a moderator, Gary?
I don't even know how to do that. I don't even
Yeah,
know how
it's
to
tricky because he doesn't. You got to go to the settings. It's a hassle unless you do live shows. So it's a tricky one.
I don't do live shows. So.
I think the DM is the best way to transfer this because he'll get his DM. Won't he?
Yes.
And then it'll be isolated to just the conversation between
Yeah,
you and
post
Jesse.
or copy the link to your video from Jesse and post it in Gary's channel under the Daily Boom Uncensored. It's a text channel here that I call Gary. You can copy a link and throw it in the Gary channel. Gary, check
Yeah,
that.
you might have to because it didn't show up. I just looked.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Links is
wonderful.
a
You
tricky
just
one.
wasted everybody's time.
Okay,
Yeah,
put it on Gary. Put it on Gary and Jose, so I don't have.
Yeah, on Gary over here on Discord. There's a Gary text channel. Throw it there and he should be able to grab it.
Okay, I DM'd it to you.
Yeah, I'll look later. I gotta go. I'll be listening, but I can't sit there and talk.
Super, thank you. Because I need this, when I do this scale model, I need you guys to be happy with it.
The Gary channel disappeared for me.
The Gary text channel should be here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Under
so
the
they're on
Daily
Daily Boom.
No, I just had a watch of that video, and I have no idea what Gary is going to come back with because you really did everything that you said you did.
Yeah, I did it after arguing with several flat earthers, and every time they complained about something, I'd go do it again and make it better.
Do you want to send that comment to Gary via Morse code and or telegraph system?
Damn it! Why can't I find Gary?
It's right there.
It's right underneath Daily Boom Uncensored.
No, I got spam then.
Spam.
Mine goes, Daily Boom spam. Nonsense.
Huh.
And it was there a minute ago. I was clicked on it. It had nothing new in it. And I was... Could you be so kind as to drop it into uncensored as well?
All right,
so I can
try to click on that hashtag that I put in the Daily Boom Uncensored. See if it takes you to the channel. Moyo.
That did work.
Didn't work?
Of course, that ends on Genius. There's no Jesse video in there.
Huh.
I just put it into uncensored.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Easiest way.
That one I can see.
We need to get started in working on a scale model of the universe. Boom.
Christ. How big a camera do we need for that?
Minuscule. Or you only be able to build and use the camera with a microscope. And microscope is tiny.
Right.
Pluggers.
What a pair we had today. We had Lemon and his now expanding photons and expanding rays of light. That's a new and stupid one for me.
And you heard about yesterday that we need small cameras in order to record a small scale model. If we scale model something in a smaller scale, we need a tiny camera also in order to take pictures and video. That was got it yesterday and today.
It doesn't make any sense.
If we take a picture of a car in real life with a cell phone camera, if we take a video now of a Hot Wheel, a model of that car, is tiny scale, we need a tiny, very tiny camera in order to to be able to see it like equally.
Did he double down on that today?
Okay, so if I've got a full size race car and a miniature car, I need a smaller eyeball to actually look at the miniature car.
I mean, no, you can see it, but if you want to compare pictures and footage and scale, yeah, in order for it to be like even to reality, you just need to scale down everything. The meal you ate, the tiny grill, a tiny burger that you ate that day, tiny soda you drank when you went to the beach, all the stuff.
You mean I can't tell that I've got a 1/500 scale die-cast NASCAR replica unless I have a tiny eyeball? That sucks, Jose.
No,
Where am I going to get a tiny eyeball?
Unless you get it tiny, yeah. Unless you reduce everything in size, yeah.
You know what? I just came to a realization. You know the old.
Go ahead. I want to hear you, Ray. Go ahead.
You know the old Clint Eastwood westerns, and he would be able to shoot somebody, like, shoot their hat off their head, and I think it was because he was squinting.
Yeah, there you go. He was making his eyeball very tiny. Yeah,
he's making his eyeball very tiny, so he could see. He could see perfectly.
He can see them small people running away. Yeah. So yeah, that's Brian Peck. That's it. We try to figure out that we need a small TV, a small monitor to watch those pictures. Because if we see a normal car picture in a big TV, we're gonna need a very tiny TV when we see the pictures of this tiny scale model stuff.
Did
I would like to see 2 different size camera lenses actually making a difference on a scale model.
So is that why I've been going around all these years when I'm making these scale models of tanks?
The thing is, on a zoom camera, you change the zoom, and that changes the effective focal length, and you change the aperture, that changes the effective aperture. I mean, you essentially are scaling the size of the camera if you zoom out and close the aperture. So, and obviously that doesn't change the effects of perspective. It doesn't move things in the distance up and down relative to things in the near field.
Well, the classic example is to set up a fairly powerful telescope and then stand right next to it with a pair of binoculars and look through the telescope, that high mag, look through the binoculars at the significantly lower mag, and you'll see that nothing has rearranged. Whatever was above in one image is going to be above in the next image. Whatever's below in the first image will be below in the second image.
I'm still looking for my snake camera. It's got to be long and long widthwise and short height-wise, so I can take a picture of a snake in scale.
And then there's back to Lemons that you see with his new thing of the light ray expanding as it goes away from you. That means that anything that moves into the distance should continuously get bigger.
Yeah, I heard that, and I don't think he realized what he was implying when he says that.
Don't forget to scale down the photons.
Yes, that was one yesterday we got there. After the scale camera, we need to scale down the photons. Thank you.
We know that optics work on wavelength and treats everything like waves. That's how optics works. You really don't worry about the photons unless you're a physicist or you want to, I guess, the photoelectric effect, something like that.
Well, we're in the world of optics now.
Yeah.
Was that Blue?
I think I heard Alkane.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't know why you're all complaining, because between the two of them, Gary and Lemon have effectively undermined every single flat Earth observation and demonstration ever made.
Single-handedly, yeah. I mean, double-handedly. That's why I asked Gary yesterday, almost at the end. So, Gary, do you mean that I need to revisit hundreds of videos, hundreds of pictures that I watched in the past 5 years, 5 or 6 years? I watched all these hundreds of videos, scale models, scale everything, demonstrations that from flat earthers. Do I need to revisit all that and just start not accepting anything because they were using just a normal size camera, I guess? I don't think he answered that question. He said, no, because of reason, But when you do it in a globe, if you want to scale something down, I guess it matters. When it's a glober, you must scale the camera down. When it's a flat earther, no, it's okay. We can take that as reality. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the classic flat Earth demo that actually is problematic because of the size of the camera lens is the coin in the table trick, because they're putting a lens that's basically taller than the edge of the table right up close to it. So depending on the focal length, you catch some of the image from above, kind of thing. And it's a way to cheat bringing it back into view.
Could you share my screen?
Yeah, let me read this. Let me read this comment first. because we got $2. Bye. Nestle Wipes, thank you very much, man, for the $2. That's it via PayPal. And he say, I can accept to be wrong all of the times, and it actually makes me a better person. Unlike you, Gary and Lemon, if you both want to live in the 2022 BC, then stay off the internet and YouTube. By the way, Earth's not flat. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, man. Go ahead.
I didn't send that, Jose.
You didn't what? Sound?
I didn't send that. That must be somebody else.
Oh, that wasn't you. Hold on. Yeah. You didn't. I got it. Verify, and then I'll share Jesse. That was Marble Merman. Thank you. Yeah, sorry about that. It was Marble Merman. Yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, man.
I like how they
Sorry.
attacked Marble Merman for sending $6.66.
Yeah, I know, right? He made it up with these $2 extra there. Let me share you. Stop screen sharing, and I'll share you to the YouTube, Jesse. All right, you should be up about now.
Oh, Jose, that was me for the last super chat, by the way.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
No
Really. Triple Croquet is loving the mini stuff over here. Shout out to Triple Croquet. All right, Jesse, you're up on screen. Take the floor, man.
All right. Oh, we were talking about using two different focal lengths, and I actually did that before I had a P1000. I just used a 1,000 millimeter Meade kids telescope, and then I used just a Canon camera with a removable lens to get. So then I took it at 1,000 millimeters and 250 millimeters. It is as we expected. That's all that is.
Now they're gonna have an issue, like people like Chris Berry. I heard Chris Berry having an issue with this, but you got on screen because he say, if you took this the small square inside the big picture, right? You took this small square and you match it up. Did you have to pinch and zoom, maximize and resize the picture in order for it to be the same?
Yeah, and actually that's why I showed the zoom percentages. You see, one zoomed at 17.2% and the other zoomed at 67%. Because obviously, with a 1,000 millimeter focal length, it would have been way larger. But so I digitally shrunk it down so that you could visually compare them.
And I have tried to tell that if you want to do a comparison, you got either different focal length, different types of cameras. One picture is going to look bigger, one picture is going to be smaller. Then put it in some kind of editing program and just resize the picture in order to make it equal size. He say, no, that's a big no, that's manipulation, that's wrong. So shout out to Chris Berry. He just showed up. He's been lurking in the background. He just came out of the shadows. So yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. Blue Marble Science for $5. Thank you very much. Every time we try to make something idiot-proof, nature makes a better idiot. Very great quote, Blue Marble. I appreciate that. So I have to mention, it's the first time that I mentioned Chris Berry out of nowhere because it came to my mind because I say some derp is going to come out of about what you did. You just took two different a picture with a different focal length and you had to resize it in order to make it equal. Nothing wrong with that from my perspective. For them, it is. Go ahead.
It's derp bait.
I wonder if Chris Berry has an opinion on having to scale the size of the camera or the size of the
So
photon.
when it's on screen and you're doing a pinch and zoom, then that's not the same as zooming your lens. You're zooming it on screen. You see, there's a difference there. See, it's an apple and orange. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Boom. Welcome to the world of flaptics. Chat to Extra J.
Oh man, I know
Go
this
ahead,
is
Brad.
sorry. I may be having that thing where I can't hear people again. I didn't just interrupt anyone, did I?
No, you good. I was about to talk because it was a little silence, but you go ahead.
Not flat Earth related, but did y'all hear that there was a leak out of a decision for a Supreme Court case last night?
No.
I think Chris Berry did it.
It's not very common that the Supreme Court decisions get leaked ahead of time, and the decision itself is going to be pretty massive if it's accurate. But we won't get into the pure politics of it. I just think it's interesting. We have finally reached the portion of the digital age and in the information age where we can get things that we've never gotten before, and it's almost kind of frightening.
Yeah, you talking about? I don't want to. I know Jose doesn't like us discussing politics, but
I don't like.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk to you after the.
Yeah, after the
YouTube
show
stream's over.
when we are not live on YouTube, you guys can talk about whatever the hell you.
So that was a topic mostly about. That was a topic mostly about how easy it is to get information, not about politics itself.
Yeah, dude, there's all kinds of top secret files like from any agencies that you want to find. There are files on the internet of anything you can find. Can you get in trouble digging into the internet and trying to find those files? Yes, you can. But the information is out there. Now, how come no how do you call these people that just leak stuff on the internet? You know, there's a term they use. Somebody working in NASA and tell like, yeah, everything is fake and the earth is flat. A whisperer. How do you call it?
Whistleblower.
Whistleblower. There you go. There's no whistleblowers that haven't like filter any information like that. I mean, and you can say, oh, but there's all kinds of information of people who say they work on NASA and they filter in this. A bunch of potatoes that like Bob Noodle. He say that Bob Noodle had that he say he got all kinds of credentials about jobs he had before. And when you research, he haven't had any of those jobs before, you know? So you're going to have, I don't know, the person across the street, he said, oh, yeah, I was a NASA rocket scientist. Oh, yeah, let's take an interview. Tell me whatever you want. I'm going to put it on the internet and people is going to just buy the story. It's all kinds of bullshit. There's no whistleblower that have told anything is as we are told pretty much.
I was talking to a guy who claimed to be the founder of Anonymous.
How did that go?
I asked him what the 7-layer OSI decode model was.
Did he have even the slightest clue?
I then asked a slightly easier question. What's the difference between a first, second, and third generation language and programming?
I'm assuming he failed these questions.
He said there are lots of versions of languages that are released. What do you mean? And I thought, okay, yeah, you're talking crap. But he's very insistent that he is.
Isn't the whole point of Anonymous to be anonymous?
Well, no, I mean, the people that started it's pretty well known who they are.
Right. Okay.
Guy out of New York. I'm not going to mention names because you don't do that.
Hey,
yeah,
we're not gonna do Stingray. What the hell are you doing? Then you be saying, person one, check on this. No. If you want to share something, share it with everybody, bro. What the hell? Stop that DM bullshit. Come on. Shout to Stingray.
What I am going to say is, Jesse, you did a wonderful job there of covering the bases. I'm sure they'll find one that you didn't cover.
Thanks. Hey, Chris Berry or Balanced Truths, are you got your Discord running today?
No, we got 58 people watching at one point. That's great.
You won't get Balanced Truths in here.
He fell over.
That just won't happen.
We actually have quite a few text chat warriors. The young Tahuti actually used to not be a text chat warrior. He used to be a speaker, and then of all the people to get embarrassed by, FTFE just made him look foolish, and I don't think he's been back on since.
Did he quit talking after that encounter?
I was going to take exception to your use of that term, but I realised I'm on my other username.
Oh man, big shout out to 60 people watching. Not bad. I got a picture. I stopped screenshotting you, Jesse. Just stop. I just want to put some random. I got a guy. He say this is so dangerous on so many levels, and we can see how dangerous it is. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
That's really good.
Oh shit! Looks like I'm going to Miami in June.
Okay, we got a new screenshot over here. Let's see what we got. We got the Stingray chatting, and the YouTube universe. What you see?
Is he showing his office off?
I got you up on screen, Stingray. We don't hear you, but we see you.
Oh, I like the slightly dated glass speakers. That's definitely something that's been bought out of a cupboard.
Ooh.
Yep, spare monitor stand just in case he needs it. Oh no, that's his power brick.
What a nerd.
You have no idea.
Oh, don't dox yourself. I saw your hand. Your hand over there.
I already recorded his fingerprint.
Yeah. You really, I mean, my critique's going to be, I think your cabling is pretty atrocious, but otherwise it's very pretty.
Oh, that's temporary. He's not, you know.
Is that a light control switch over there?
No, it's an adjustable desk.
Oh, I thought he was just slowly sinking.
No, that's just his I'd love to say that's just his finances, but that's probably not true because he's quite good at what he does from what I see.
Is that shelf with different kinds of cornflakes, like cereals? Okay. Oh, goodies.
Yeah. He's got a whole pile of sodas or something there. What the hell?
Oh, he's got blender fuel.
That is.
It's very cool, man. I could live there for a week, man, while eating all these snacks and drinking all of this. Just lock me up for a week, and when you come back, there's nothing left.
It's kind of like it's kind of like a more sophisticated version of the.
I was talking.
The internet.
Wrong audio device.
There you go. Now we can hear you. It's great.
I was wondering why we didn't hear shit.
I really wish you had said sophisticated.
Sophisticated, yeah. You're like a sophisticated version of the internet nerds that we see in movies, where they're just like in the basement with like loads of pizza boxes around.
All right, let's give Stingray the floor. Stingray, go ahead, man.
No, so that test desk there with all the little little cans and little boxes of things is part of the software that I'm developing. It's just a little test area that I set up. So it's not like, oh my God, I need loads of wine and soft drink and cereal next to me at all times. That's not it.
Of course it's not.
By the way, that's still one of the neatest things whenever the robots that were doing this for you at my local Walmart went by.
But anyway, Dross, I can swear on that. Yeah, I can swear, can't I? Yeah. Fuck you, I put effort into that bastard cabling this time round.
I can't complain because I ripped my desk to pieces, put it back together again, and my cabling at the moment looks horrible. So it's probably just me sort of like taking out some passive aggressiveness on you for how shit everything looks around my desk at the moment.
Well, wait a minute. Check this. I need credit for this. Wait a minute. Give me 2 seconds.
We have two guys on different ends of the PC world arguing about cabling.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for fuck's sake, you look at that. All the cables for the gaming rig are inside there that go up, and the same for the Mac Pro are inside that one there that you can just see. Yes, I need to tidy up some shit like this, but my God, look, there's loads inside that. Oh, by the way, yes, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, that does look like some weird spaghetti monster, but you can't see that from here. So I'm all right.
I do appreciate that you paid homage to our Lord and Savior, the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
All hell is noodly.
By the way, I am jealous of the speakers. I had a set of those, but I dropped the bass. And it cracked. They're Creative Labs ones, aren't
If you keep this up, Dean, you may get to go to the heaven with the beer volcano and the stripper factory that doesn't have VD.
Yeah.
No, I got a better feedback than that. So the Stingray,
that's it.
So the Stingray is actually building a scale model of the universe, starting with a shelf of 6. Thank you, Paul. That makes more sense.
He's definitely built a 1-to-1 scale of his office model.
Yeah, he's gonna expand it to the whole universe scale.
We actually had Merle on, not Jose's, on Jim's a couple weeks ago, saying that unless we could build another Earth, we can't know anything about Earth. So Merle was actually asking for a 1-to-1 scale model of Earth.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Of course.
He's on it. We're all on it.
Sorry, is Stingray building his own version of the metaverse now, or what's happening?
Yeah.
Does the model, does the 1-to-1 model have to actually have human life with another me?
So, how could we build a 1-to-1 scale model of Earth without it making a 1-to-1 Moyoc? That sounds fantastic.
I think one's enough.
Will it be joined? Will it be joined by like I don't know, a bridge or something? Because we need to build a long bridge, and then we start building from the crust, from the top. We need to start building in this crust, and then we'll keep building down to the center, to the outside. We build a long strip of across the Earth from the west coast to the east coast on the world, and then we build from the inside out. I mean, it's got to be a way to build this.
Oh my God, I just thought about this. Maybe God created this universe as a model for flat earthers in his universe.
What if we're really just in one of Dean's Blender simulations?
Could be. Who knows? I'll have to look into that.
I would like to say officially, Doofus, Stingray and I are never going to join together to form the Dross Ray. But that was fun.
Could happen.
I mean, didn't Elon Musk put a lot of money into trying to figure out whether we're living in some kind of simulation or something? That's a thing.
Wait, I gotta explain this really quickly. I'm sharing my paint cheap 3D paint, right? So we have Earth. We have Earth, right? Let's say this is Earth. We have it right here, and then we're gonna start building now. We gotta start building. So we build a. We go closer. We build a bridge on Earth. We build a bridge. Oh, we build a bridge in here somewhere. Okay, now we start building Earth right here. This is the beginning of the building. We build a wall first. We build a small wall right here. After we got that, we build a longer bridge. We got to figure out how to build. After we build right here, we build a little bit more over here. We anchor this part right here. We build a little bit further in here with continuation anchor. And then after we get this, then we can kind of continue building more. We can continue building more, we keep building like the skeleton, the structure, and then we keep building solid from the inside out until we actually have different one, but we will have this other Earth.
Are you
solid.
building a wall to keep the Earth 2 people out that you don't want to come to Earth 1?
No, we got this built. We got it
Keep the
built.
Puerto Ricans out.
Yeah, we got the whole Earth built, and this is also spherical. Why didn't I even do it? I did it then. Yeah, this is the new Earth. The new Earth that we'll be building, and it will be And it will be joined by a bridge. So we can now do the test that we want. And then when we are ready, we're gonna move to this one, and then we will break the bridge.
Wait.
Yeah, the next step, Jose, is you need to build like some kind of sausage-shaped planet.
No, I'm just saying. I mean,
downwards.
That's
No, I think what you need to do is you need to put a tower in the middle of Earth 1, and then a big tower in the middle of Earth 2. Yeah.
What the hell are you all on about? Don't you know the laws of conservation of Earth? Where you take all the material from?
I'm just giving you ideas on how to build a
Yeah, okay.
Earth
So
size.
where do we take the material from to build the new Earth?
From this. Oh shit! Wait. Holy shit, man! We're gonna have to start building like continents and lands, and then start moving people. And then the people that we're moving over there, then we can take this other material. So at the end of the day, we wouldn't have actual Earth. It will be just Earth 2.0 or something like Earth 2. The first Earth will disappear because we're going to take all the material from here and build it over there. Wow, I got to rethink that, man.
Right.
If we put it on the opposite side of the sun to us, so it's in the same orbit but on the completely opposite side of the sun, we can call it counter-Earth.
Didn't I see this in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they're building Earth 2?
Hey, do not speak ill of Slarty Bartfast.
No, Shaik, man. You just rocked my word there, man. I thought I had a good idea. Now, we're going to have to then first build some kind of agency to harness materials from very high up, like meteors.
Yeah,
Maybe we can use the moon. We can use the moon as material, but we need a lot more. So we're gonna start harnessing material from places.
Just do the asteroid belt. Yeah, there's probably enough in the asteroid belt for about a third of an Earth.
We'll get the
I
rest
don't-
from Jupiter.
I also have ideas for improvement. For example, we can put polarities exactly at the north and not moving around like, I don't know what, no wobbling Earth. And second of all, spinning in the opposite direction and having the sun rising at the west and setting at the east.
That would be cool.
Actually, you know what we could do is we just steal Venus because it's about the same size, and then we'd need a lot less material.
But we already got a lot of material. Mandeville gave me a great idea. We can gather all the single socks that were lost over the last 100 years in like washing machines and dryers, and we get a lot of material there. Thank you, man.
Good lord, the
keep
asteroid belt only
the
has
Earth-
3% the mass of the moon.
In order to keep the Earth from being gravitational forces by this moon we're building, couldn't we just build a big Mylar balloon and just suck the atmosphere off of Venus and fill it up with that?
So many great ideas. I hope flat earthers are taking notes.
Gary responded to my in my comments.
Nice.
He watched the first 18 seconds and just declared that the camera was in the wrong position.
Of course, he
No, of course.
must.
Yes. What else did you?
It's not a long video. Why wouldn't he just watch the rest of it?
I just wanted to point out that this is where all the lost socks have gone.
Oh yes, the
He
clown.
is not a serious flat earther. He's an argumenter.
He's a twat.
You guys remember? I remember like a month ago, we were, mostly me, trying to figure out how to measure the distance to the moon. Like first person measurement, like solid, like a measurement, direct measurement. And yeah, I came out with a bunch of great ideas. I had a lot of feedback. It was great, man. Fantastic.
A really long stick.
Yeah, there's a lot of different alternatives, but I gotta rethink the whole thing again because I came to a conclusion that it was the more possible, but it has to be physical.
What's on the end of the stick, Vic?
And then because you will be the one measuring it, so It touch. If you actually just try to outreach and touch the moon with the top of this measuring tape or stick, it's still not valid until you touch the moon. You know, you touch it with the tip of the measure. That was the summary at the end of it.
Touch it with the tip.
Yeah, touch it with the tip, and then
Touch it with the tip.
yeah.
You attach a fishing line to Earth and then like fly with a rocket to the moon.
Now, for the sun, we could use this. I mean, we could think about this another day. We'll touch like how to measure this how to do direct measurements. Just kind of a mockery.
I think every flat earther should be given the opportunity to touch the sun.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll give ideas. I'll give my own ideas. We get feedback. It's gonna be a tricky one for the sun because we can use the same strategy for the moon, but we need more material to reach the sun, and then we're gonna need an extra layer because of the heat. Unless flat earthers tell us what the sun is, how to get to it, are we want to burn or something.
Well, every flat earther that gets to touch the sun posthumously gets to join the Flat Earth Crispy Club.
Yeah,
I think you could start building that fleet of arc ships myself. Because that giant Stargoat's on its way.
The telephone sanitizers have to go somewhere.
Yes.
It is very hard to do. I mean, let's define this. Direct measurement. I say a direct measurement. I don't think I can even use a measuring tape. That will be an indirect measurement. It's math involved. It's math. It's numbers. I got it. We got to add it up. Now, a direct measurement. If I open my arms from the tip of my finger, my two fingers, my flicking finger, the fuck you finger, right? Open my arms. That's my height. That's 6 foot. And I have tested that. I put the tip of my finger in the ground. I put the other one in the wall as close as I can. I mark it and I stand in there and it's like 6 foot. That's a direct measurement for me because I'm doing it with my own body.
But the problem is now you do another one. So now we do two lengths, two units of Jose. But then you've got to add them together, which requires the use of maths.
That's it. Yeah, there's no more direct measurement after that. Yeah, just one. Yeah, for me.
Yeah. So and even if you got lots of flat earthers to hold hands, you'd still have to count the number of flat earthers.
Math. Yep.
So yeah.
Is there now? The question is there such thing as a direct measurement? I guess. I mean, it's a term that I heard used, but what is a direct measurement? It even exists.
I think what you could do is you could use a really big ball of string, stretch it out to the moon, roll it back up into a ball again, and then drop it on a flat earther.
Now, what is... So, yeah, there is such thing as a direct measurement. I haven't Googled it, I haven't looked it up, but I guess a direct measurement is something, you have to include math. You have to include, you don't have to touch the items yourself in order to do a direct measurement. Is that correct?
Right, a direct measurement you can say is taken from any single instrument that you use. So radar to me is a direct measurement. Laser ranging is a direct measurement. Where I'm having to take multiple stages, like where you're doing sort of like land surveying, and you're taking multiple measurements. Each one of those is a direct measurement, but collectively they're not. That's kind of how I view it.
We'll wait for a flat earther to come in and mention that if a laser rangefinder gives you a different answer underwater, that means laser rangefinders are fake.
Well, you don't know the medium you're in.
If we use something the way it's not intended to be used, that means it's fake, right?
I mean, that is the creationist argument for radiometric dating.
Oh, don't get me started.
If we intentionally fuck it up, it's going to be fucked up. Isn't that fucked up?
That is fucked up, yeah.
But
it's called the shellac method.
But sonar we can use in water and air.
I just wanted to say, in terms of in regards to Jose's theory of creating another Earth, I don't know if anybody here has seen the news regarding the possible discovery of a white hole.
A white hole?
A white
Hell
hole.
yeah, man. Bring it on. What you got?
It's the opposite of a black hole, which is a white hole basically creates matter rather than
Spewing
destroying
time
matter.
back into space.
Yeah.
Is it known that a black hole destroys matter?
Black hole
Well, it
doesn't
sucks
necessarily.
everything in. It sucks everything into it. Yeah. And the
Black
white
hole
hole
doesn't-
is
Go ahead.
the opposite.
Go ahead, Brian.
A black,
Wanna hear-
a black hole is just technically inescapable once you pass the event horizon. A white hole, you wouldn't even be able to enter the event horizon. It's not that it necessarily creates matter. It's just that you have no ability to place matter. Matter has no ability to enter it.
Yeah, I don't think you're talking about an Einstein-Rosen bridge, which is a wormhole.
I say,
Oh,
I say I'm gonna give you the honor to do that, farmers. What you
Yep.
gotta do what you
It's
gotta do.
gone.
Thank you.
Yep, it's gone.
I think that black hole is, and the behavior and the physics is whatever you want it to be. Everything is okay.
Black holes and white holes are universal turnstiles.
Okay,
Whatever you want it to be. If you write a paper that sounds makes sense and you add a little bit of like big words and like kind of physics and you just made a sound, you make a good structured paper and you're part of the scientific community and you've just presented and you might be peer reviewed for that, and there you go. The black hole does and is whatever you want it to do or be.
I've got something that I could share with you guys if you wanted.
Go for it, man. Yeah, please.
What, Talkie Toaster?
No, it's a prototype app that I wrote on Sunday that I'm going to build into a fully fledged app. I don't mind sharing it because it's going to be free anyway. But I'll give me 2 seconds. I'll ask you a quick question first, Stingray. Yeah, sure. Do you want any toast?
How about a muffin?
Hey, what's wrong with the lingo over here?
So that's only funny to people that have seen a program called Red Dwarf and are probably about Farmers and Mike.
And there was an episode called White Hole.
Hey, no internal joke, sorry.
Right, so here we go.
You're
Yeah,
up, man.
How about a toasted muffin? So what we got here is my desk again, but as seen very differently this time. So at the top right, we've got the RGB as seen from the camera. On the bottom, taking up most of the screen at the moment, we've got actually the depth from the LiDAR sensor, the time of flight LiDAR, which I've just colored as a hue from red close up, all the way to dark blue. So if I looked all the way down the other end of the thing, you'd see, hey, it goes down, then it starts wrapping again. That's down the other part of the thing. That's my food bowl, like that. But what this is on the iPhone now. Apple do a song and dance about it, but it's quite good. They have the Taptic engine, and it's a very, very fine set of motor controls to give feedback to the user based on touch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this depth image touchable so that you can sense the depth with your fingertips for blind people. So, and this app is called LiDARcane.
Cool.
Do you
Nice.
get it?
I
You
get it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh, actually, one other quick question. How about a toasted croissant?
I wasn't a big Red Dwarf fan.
You're now dead to him.
Just be careful, because if I tell you not to do any more jokes that everybody don't understand to include people, you might get triggered and tell me that I must be careful with it.
I get triggered.
I heard that before. That happened before.
If light is so precise, how come the distances in?
Easy over there. Who's laughing?
I thought Moyak was going to start the line of, if the speed of light is equal to the blah, 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 blah. The question is, do you want a toasted tea cake?
You're going to get yourself in trouble, Idris. You know that.
You were so close to accidentally making a red dwarf joke there, Moyak.
Yes. Oh, Cat, will you fuck off?
It's contagious. What do we do?
No smoking flapjacks.
All right. I just want to share with you the sounds of Florida.
Ah, how I've missed those dulcet tones.
Yep. Every day. Those ones are far away.
You're saying they're not small, they're far away.
Yeah. That's Doppler effect bullshit, right?
Yep.
No, it's a joke from Father Ted.
Why do I call bullshit to the Doppler effect? How dare I?
Yes, how dare you? You almost came across like a flat earther there.
But at least I got the term right?
Yeah,
You
no,
did.
yeah, you got it right. Yeah. Well
You
done.
also managed to hurt Mr. Doppler's feelings.
And then I call black holes like I didn't say bullshit about the black holes, but I say bullshit about the Doppler effect. How dare I? I mean, it's just it's so opposite of why.
Poor old Herr Doppler.
Dude, look at the. Let me see where the plan's at. Let me.
Yeah, I don't think you have the Doppler effect.
My little plants
Correct.
are going. Look at that. Okay, we got this one bunch of little plants are coming up like right in the middle, right there.
Oh yeah.
These are seeds. And then we got this one. It's growing big, man. This one is coming in fast, coming in hot. We got this one, dude. Yesterday I told you it was like small. They blossomed like a motherfucker. It was a big seed. I don't know what type of flower or plant it is, but I don't know. It looks cool. So I'm gonna just wait for them to grow bigger and then replant. And this one, it looks very, very cool, very open. And then I got my little what are those? Tomatoes, peppers, and carrots. Just waiting for them to get stronger and replant them. They should.
Cool. Nice.
It's not much, but it's a little something.
I can grow weeds. I'm very good at that.
A little bit of something is better than nothing.
I grew some of mine in one of those grow dishes, and they sprouted up really tall before I got around to them. I put them outside in the sun, and they didn't harden up real good. They just burned up.
They just what?
Just burned up.
Oh, they burned. Yeah, man, that sucks. Yeah, where I have them right here, like it's on the roof. They don't get direct sunlight, so I know they're gonna need some sunlight. But I can just move in a few feet from in the next to the house, where we only get like 2 hours of sunlight daily basis over there. So that's a cool spot. Or if I need direct sunlight, I can put it like in front of my house. They get like the sun all day long, So at least I got a good setup where I put the plants. If they direct sunlight, I got a spot. If they're not direct sunlight, I can keep them inside here,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for the word salad. I'm just creating a same for the word salad that happens here on the daily basis. I got motivated. Thanks, Lemon, for motivating me to plant salads and stuff.
Word.
Up.
I'm fucking starving. I'm about to wrap it up.
I had a
Both
very
those
nice curry
eats.
that I made for dinner. I was quite pleased with it.
I had a chicken sandwich.
Discord user, you want to speak? You want to say something? No, I tried. Tried
I think he
twice.
wants to remain international man of mystery.
Aren't we all Discord users?
Yeah, but
he's
that's
called, or he, she, or it, whoever it is called Discord.
he or it. Damn, you call him it?
Well, I mean,
Well, it.
I have no idea who Discord user he is.
It's
Be
like
it
the,
male-
what?
Be it male, female, or identifies as an occasional table. You know.
yeah, it's like the guy that got a vanity license plate that said invalid, and then got all the tickets that had been saved up for all the invalid license plates or something.
Can I use a pronoun? I want a new pronoun. I want to be God and Savior. Can I do that? Can you guys call me God and Savior?
I might struggle with that one. I must admit, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a new age thing, right? People need pronouns. I want to be the
but
God
you
and
see,
Savior.
I worship our Lord and Savior JC. Obviously, I'm referring to John Cleese. Yeah, could be
That's
tricky
fine.
on that, Jose.
I'm not even going to comment on that pronoun things. Just that's my comment. I want to be God and Savior pronoun. That's my comment on the topic. Oh, fucking.
Then when it's a singular person, yeah, that just don't work.
God and Savior. Wait a minute, what is it? God and Savior. Big and good. There you go. That can be what you can be known as.
Big
How do you flip your camera around on your phone?
Bag.
Gas bag, yeah.
Bag. Yeah. Okay. That works. Yeah.
Anybody have any idea how I flip my camera around?
Yeah, if you take the phone and you rotate it 180 degrees.
Yeah.
Do a backflip.
There you go. I got you showing that for Discord. Yeah, it looks good, man. That looks cool.
Nice beds.
Is that depth? Like 2 feet?
Yeah, 26 inches.
Yeah.
The tin was 26, so that defined the size.
I always wondered what Father Christmas did in his downtime.
Drinks a lot.
Hey.
Creepily monitors every child in the world.
Yes. Yeah, that's not suspicious.
You were bad back in April. How do you know about them?
Don't you be shooting snakes now on my stream?
Nah, no shooting snakes right now.
Okay.
But that's my wheelbarrow got sick.
It looks like it went in two directions like an amoeba.
I lost a whole load with that one.
Just as a disclaimer, I'm not God. I don't need to give anybody explanations. That's just my pronoun. Thank you.
Why?
Because society tells me that I can be whatever I want.
I knew you'd give me an explanation. You are God.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, man. Fucking hate that topic. I even brought it up. Why the fuck did I?
Yeah, you brought it up.
But I'm sorry. Yeah, let's not get
I'll
into
tell you what
it.
I'll tell you what I find really didisturbing. Terry Crews and I share the same birthday and the same year of birth.
Really? Same. So you were born in whatever you were born in another hospital. Terry Davis was this guy.
Terry Crews was born,
born. Right.
Yeah. And he looks so much better than me.
There's this guy. Let me post a picture, a meme of the person that was born in the same date and year. There's two recognized one, but this person looks so much fucking. Look at this. Here we go. Shout out to Eva Longoria.
Oh,
fucking A.
Not bad for 70.
No, not bad for 47, man. Not bad for 47.
Well, you got to wish Terry Crews in a few months happy 54th birthday. I'm still waiting for that to come up in a pub quiz.
Yeah, and then there's another person. This guy, Will I Am, is also same date and year. Yeah, exactly. So Eva Longoria, Will I Am,
so
and
much
myself.
younger than you as well. They
Dude,
both
what the
look
hell?
so much younger than you.
What the hell? I look young, man. Nah, I don't look that young. But I look young, dude. I just gotta take the shaving. I just did a kind of a sort of a shaving. I look young. Look at that. I'm just bald and got white hair. I don't look much older than my age. I don't look older than 47. So shout out to all those 47s that look as young as.
I like the fact that there was a guy I used to work with, and he's about 10 years younger than me, and everyone
Right.
thought he was older than I was. And that really pissed him off.
Yeah. We all come
Gus,
across
Gus,
those.
You share a trait with Chris Berry that makes you seem young.
What's that?
You have the ability to phase change into a 14-year-old girl, and you've got the voice to match sometimes. You know that?
Oh, shit. Shots
I'll tell you
fired.
what, he's really pissed off about that cabling comment.
It took me ages to fucking bind all them into that into that cable binding thing.
Oh, I'm the same age as Uma Thurman. Huh, bloody hell. And Rachel Weisz.
So that's really strange. You know, I'd happily sleep with either of them, but I wouldn't sleep with you, farmers.
Well, bloody. Oh, Heather Graham. Oh, hello.
It's scary how quickly people get old.
It's scary to see myself on camera and how good and young I look compared to Pete Shea when he say he is 2 years older than me.
Yes. Yes, he's not weathered very well, has he?
He's half a decade younger than I am.
And you are Jack Black, just with white hair on you.
I'm the dude.
Half a decade. Oh, that's metric, isn't it?
What? That's metric. Oh dear. Do we have imperial time and metric time?
Yeah, that's what the Americans call time zones.
Ah.
Yeah, we didn't. You didn't say like 3/32 of a decade. So there you go.
Got the list of sort of celebrities at the same age as me. I don't know who half these fucking people. They're not famous.
I think the fact I used a fraction rather than 0.5 of a decade would actually show that it is imperial measurement. Just saying.
Yeah, well, somebody specified 3/16 of a centimeter. I wanted to hit them.
All right.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
We are going to wrap this one up today. Slightly bit earlier than the 3 hours I usually do. But I gotta get out of here. I'm hungry. The dog's probably hungry. And we'll do a round of final thoughts. I want to thank everybody before everybody start leaving with the final thoughts to remember to support the channel. Check on the links on the description box. Join Discord and PayPal. There's a super thanks button when the video is up on YouTube. After a few hours, super thanks is available. Leave a comment in the comment sections. That way people can find your channel a lot easier. We click on the comments and that will open your channel. If you're a content creator looking for a handful of extra subscribers, just holler. And I used to pin, I will still pin the first comment in the comment sections unless we get a super thanks, a sticker type of thing. If we get a super chat offline, those that comment, the first one will be pinned in the comment section. It worked. I think yesterday or the day before, we had a $5 super thanks by somebody, Thurston, I think. Somebody gave me a $5. Super. So thank you very much. Final thoughts. Let's do it. Jesse Gordon, because you're still in the top of the list. What you got? Final thoughts.
Great show, Jose. That was a lot of fun. I don't know how I got to the top. Jay's not near the I don't know. Oh, maybe because I'm sharing my screen.
Yep.
Hey, that's a cool trick. I didn't know that. Well, hey, Gary, I hope you watched that video all the way through I sent you, rather than stopping at 18 seconds. It definitely answers your question. Have fun.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Shout out to Al-K. Shout out to C4. Chaik, final thoughts.
Yeah, good show today. Thank you.
Thank you. It was fun one, yeah. Shout out to Discord user. Thank you for coming in. Doofus, Manfred, final thoughts.
Well, I just found it interesting today that Gary put out his position a little bit more clearly in text form on the previous Daily Boom, which is that if the Earth, or he by assuming the Earth is flat, he says the Blackpool observation, when scaled down, should look identical to the photograph. So since it doesn't match, that must mean not the other thing that we all think, that maybe the Earth isn't flat, but maybe that was done wrong, despite all the documentation that said it was done. That's some sort of sick bias. I'm just going to point that out. It could be that the Earth is not flat. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Druss, final thoughts.
Well, I still don't think we've really answered the important and critical question that's on the table today, which is, does anyone want a toasted crumpet?
Thank you, Dross. Appreciate it. Earth is Live. Final thoughts. Earth is Live. You are moderator on my channel on this Discord now, so you know.
Yes, I missed the second half of the show, so I'm gonna go back and listen up for anything that I missed. Good show. Yeah, Gary, up to his normal nonsense. Always a pleasure. Anyway, good show, Jose.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Final shots. Final shots, says Jesse Gordon. No final thoughts, but final shots. All right, we have Farmer's Boy.
Yes, thank you. It's been, by and large, it's been a very entertaining show. And obviously, I think we've established that that Gary is right, and the entire rest of the world is wrong. Always nice to know where we stand. Yeah.
You deafened yourself earlier. So you broke the rules.
I beg your pardon.
You deafened yourself earlier for the part of the show.
Yes, and you know
Wonder
exactly. You know exactly why I did that, because I'm sorry that my sanity is just too precious to listen to him. But other than that, it was very entertaining. Thank you very much, as always.
Thank you. Fred, are you there for final thoughts? Shout out to Gary Waibenga, final thoughts.
Yeah, I watched that guy's video with the water tubes. What a joke. He wasn't even close to being eye level with the tubes, so he was well below them, as you can tell by where you can see the water level in the frame of the picture. It was a joke. He's got the whole mountain practically below the levels.
Make sure to watch the full video. You own time. Shout out to Zima. I see you, Zima. See you. J-Mac, final thoughts. Your hot mic in Moyak.
Thank you, Jose. Good show. Parts of it I was starting to smell burnt toast, but I'm better now. Thank you.
Shit, watch out, man. I was having heavy palpitations earlier, man. I freaked out for a minute. Larry Bro PS, final thoughts.
Well, it's got to be a shout out to Gary. He was the the center of attention. And when he says oh, it's a joke because the camera was obviously below, well, then he's got a problem with his vision if he didn't watch that camera pan up and down, above and below, so that you know from one extreme to the other, somewhere in the middle, just like a stopped clock, you know, it was exact for one frame. So, fuck off, Gary.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm posting a link to Jesse's video on the YouTube. Everybody should check it out and leave in some feedback. Remember, if you post links, it might not show up in the comment sections. That goes for everybody. That's why sometimes YouTube just kidnap those comments, and we don't even see it in the helpful review or the spam or nothing. Just shout out from Jess. Mojok Man, final thoughts.
If being loud and over talking people and showing extreme confidence is right, then Gary is always right.
Thank you very much. We got shout out to Leo, he was here. The Cheap Professor, shout out to you. You got some final thoughts?
Yo, it was a good show. At least I think I was sleeping much of it.
Good. But it's good to have that alternative to maybe wake up in the middle of your dream. What the fuck? I heard people was yelling. There was a war going on. Oh no, these assholes yelling at each other. Hey, shut the fuck up! You know, like come on, keep it low. So it's good to be in the call where there's a shit show going and you'll be able to speak. Shout out to you. The Stingray, final thoughts.
Yeah, good show. I just want to point out again that scaling a camera lens doesn't actually alter the field of view. The only time that scale would make a difference is in the singular following example. The focal length is measured in millimeters. And for some reason, you can measure the sensor size in millimeters as well. The ratio of both of those to the distance of the first subject that you're interested in, along with out of focus areas, can actually make it shift slightly up and down while being slightly out of focus or in focus. I think Al Kay mentioned this, and it is a trick that is used by flat earthers. But guess what? Tighter aperture, so that there is very little depth of field, and the first subject being many meters away, not like hundreds of meters away, not half a meter, so that those millimeters don't make a difference, then it's utterly irrelevant, ludicrous, and insane for Gary to make that assertion. I'd love for him to demonstrate it. Cheers, Jose.
Thank you very much. Anybody want to jump in that didn't have your full final thoughts or were unable to speak? Anybody? Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Remember, check on the links on the description box. Support. Hey, look at that! Last minute $5 super chat by Zima. Thank you very much, Zima. You look beautiful. Open you, Shannon, and see if you got content and stalk you over there on YouTube. That's so wrong. Hey, you actually do. Let me see. Oh no, no videos. Zima, come on. You got to put videos. Beautiful you are, and you don't have any content on your channel. Come on. No, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting. Everybody, stay safe out there. And just be aware of your surroundings. Take care of your family. Take care of yourself. Engage in physicality. Just engage with your family, friends. Go out. Talk to people face to face. Look at their eyes. It's a good feeling. Believe me, it's a good feeling. Thank you very much, everybody. Jose JG out. Boom. Thank you. Tomorrow, Moon Knight finale. And on Thursday, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Boom.